Hello, guys, and welcome back to this week's Drawing of the Week. And you guys did vote over on Instagram for a Mysterio picture, and hopefully I haven't let you down. Today we're going to be colouring this one in, and if you've missed all the stages up till now, where we've done the sketching of this, and also the inking, and how to ink, and where to put the ink, and sort of what kind of way to ink and stuff like that, and definitely how to, in the sketching stage, I showed you how to put the body in the right shape. Where do you want to put the foreground? Where you want to put the foreground and let's say the behind and the front. I don't know the terms. But anyway, yeah. Today we're going to be colouring in. We're going to be using my copic markers again. So they give a bit more of a shape made and things like that. We may be using my Copic marker brush pens, depending on where I need to use them and how I need to use them, and also a few felt tips just for like extra tones and stuff like that if I haven't got the color in other places. So yeah, we're going to be doing that today, guys. I am going to be listening to Kevin Smith's review of Spider-Man Far From Home because, oh my god, I listened to a bit of it yesterday and it's absolutely amazing. He's a brilliant man. Yeah, I need to share it whilst I'm drawing, guys. Yeah, so I'm going to be going through all of what I got to do on this one. Whilst listening to that, you can watch what I'm doing. And if you got any comments while I'm going, guys, don't forget you can leave me a comment in the comment section because we are live. My name is here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram. If you're new to the channel, guys, why not leave me a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you don't know where you are, again, I'm Blute084 Art and Games. I do sketching on Mondays and then ink it on Tuesday, and then Wednesdays we color it in. And because we've got no way of doing any digital art at the moment, because my PC decided it's going to kill one of my graphics cards, we are going to go back to the PlayStation and use that, or use the app called Cool Paint, where we'll be making something in VR and also playing a few VRs on Thursday. And replacing Friday's artwork will be some clay making. If you haven't checked out last week's, we made Thor's hammer. So go and check that one out, guys. There should be a link at the end of the video if you're watching back to do that. So you'll watch that, unless you want to find it up on my channel, guys. Again, just tap my face and you'll find, or say tap my icon, which is somewhere. You can then that'll take you to the channel, unless you're already on it. Thank you very much for doing that, guys. But like I said, we're going to be colouring in with the Copic markers and getting some good shades and stuff in. I've already shaded it with pen, so I've already got the dark tones where I want to be. So yeah, we've already done that yesterday. I showed you how to shade with an actual ink pen instead of a pencil. This is all ink, guys. I got rid of all construction lines and all the pencils yesterday. And if you're wondering what's wrong with my hand, I have a wrist. I played Spider-Man, the PS4 game, and I forgot how much it damaged my wrist and my fingers and everything last time. So yeah, I've had to wrap my hand up because my wrist is a bit knackered. I didn't bother going to the doctors and I didn't bother getting anything like that. I just went and made myself something because, you know, guys, I like to craft and create stuff. And my God, this is so comfortable, so I ain't never taking it off. So yeah, if you've got any like tips or hints to sort of, if you're daily everyday illustrator, the illustrating doesn't seem to hurt my hand. It's more the gaming, especially if it's the heavy button pressing. I don't mean triggers. I mean, there's God of War. I'm doing this all the time. And then there was Spider-Man who was like, webs, because I forget I've got another finger. So yeah, that's enough of the gaming. As I'm Art and Games, we're going to be getting on some art. We're going to listen to Kevin Smith. Enjoy, guys. There may be a slight amount of adult humor and also swearing, so be aware of that. If you're not a fan of that, turn the volume down. Just watch what I'm doing. And yeah, keep watching, guys.
And welcome to the inaugural edition of Silent Bob Speaks with Kevin Smith. Can't believe it took me that long to figure out a title for these. Normally, I kind of just put things under Batman Beyond or just throw them up. Now, anytime I'm sitting here talking to camera, we got a name for it. It's a name That's been around for a long ass time. Okay, but on this inaugural edition, man, I'm going to review Spider-Man: Far From Home. You can watch me and Mark Bernard review Spider-Man: Far From Home on Fat Man Beyond, which goes up tomorrow. We did it at Scum and Villainy, and everybody was there. We took everybody to see the movie at a Screen X viewing of the flick where the movie wraps around you. It's awesome. And then we all sat around and talked about it and stuff. So you can watch me and Mark talk about it, and all the folks at the cantina who were there for the show talk about it tomorrow. Today, I'm going to give you my one-on-one right here, man, with the very first Silent Bob Speaks. Branding, kids. Okay, so before we do that, little housekeeping, just to, pay the bills and stuff. Here we go. If you're going to Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con, Comic-Con International, it's San Diego, a celebration of the popular arts. I'll be there this year, as I have been for the last 3 years, sitting in back at a Hall H and back at the entire convention center in the water on the IMD boat, where I'm going to be interviewing my pop culture betters all weekend long and stuff. And then on Saturday, the 20th night, the 20th, I have my panel in Hall H right after the Marvel panel. So, fuck. What am I going to say after that? I'll tell you what I'm going to say after that, man. I'm going to show you a trailer. I'm going to bring the Jay and Silent Bob reboot trailer with me, and I'm going to bring Jay with me as well. And we're going to show you a scene from the movie, because the trailer will go up online. But this scene from the movie, if you're in Hall H, you're going to see it. If not, you see it when you finally see the movie when it comes out. So that's what I'm doing in San Diego. And then lastly, Hollywood Babylon with me and Ralph Garman returns to the Improv on Saturday, July 27th, week after Comic-Con. All right, so there's some housekeeping for you. Let's dive in. I've seen Spider-Man: Far From Home twice now. First time I saw it in Screen X. The good folks at Screen X set up a screening for us and had an absolute blast. There was only like 5 of us in the theater. It was a private screening. So second time I watched it, before I like to review stuff, or just barely a review, this is a recap, really. I like to make sure I see it again so I remember everything, because I'm blazed most of the time, so I want to make sure I get details. So I went to see it when I was in Cleveland. I just went to Cleveland to do a show at Youngstown State University in Ohio. So I was in Cleveland the night before. I said, fucking man, I'm going to go see Spider-Man in that morning. So I went in the morning to check it out, and it was a 10 o'clock screening. So, there's no slam whatsoever on where I was in the world and stuff like that. But, before you go do a show, I was going to go do a show in Youngstown. You look it up. See, like, what can I talk about? You just don't want to hit the stage dry and be like, fucking goes on here. You want to have a working familiarity. So you could be like, hello, Cleveland, or something like that. So I looked up Youngstown, and in its Wikipedia breakdown, like there's a section that you rarely see for most cities, crime. And I was like, that's funny. And I clicked on it, and it said at the base of the heading of everything, there's a lot of information in it. And it said, Youngstown is the 9th most dangerous city in the United States. Not in Ohio, in the United States. So I was like, oh, I had no idea that's where I was. So I didn't want to leave my laptop in my hotel room. So I brought my laptop with me in a bag. No judgment against the hotel or the people and staff at the hotel. They were all wonderful. But, number 9 in the nationwide, like that's a big number. So I was like, you know what? Just in case somebody decides to get into my room, let me take my laptop. Laptop's got scripts I'm working on. It's got the movie. It's good. It's everything, right? So take the laptop. I put it in my bag. I'm not going to just carry the laptop. So I put it in my bag. I got a Zach and Mary Make a Porno bag from when we wrapped the movie. So put in that. Got some room in the bag. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to the movie theater now. I'm going to bring some snacks. So I brought some vegan snacks. I'm vegan. I don't know if you know this. I'm vegan. So I went and got some snacks at Whole Foods, because if you go get the snacks in the movie theater, generally speaking, they don't have vegan options. And I'm not like, I ain't cheap. I'm happy to pay whatever they charge me in the movie theater. But if you have the snacks, you have my brands, I'll be buying y'all snacks. But if not, since I'm bringing a bag already, I'm like, all right, I'll bring, because it was early in the morning. So I'll bring some stuff because I eat at noon. I know people are like, get to the review, you fat piece of shit. They don't say that anymore. Get to the review, you dumb piece of shit. You formerly fat piece of shit. So I had some snacks in the bag, packed some snacks in and stuff. And I go to the movie. Got my ticket, went inside, it was packed. I had to sit between people. It was layback recliner, so it was totally fine. To my right, there's a lady. Right next to her, some older dude, like in his 30s. To my left, there's a little kid, 8, 9, maybe 10 or so. I can't judge that guy. He was just a small person, like young. Next to him is his mom. Next to the mom is the other brother. She's keeping them apart. I will say, spoilers, at one point when Spider-Man and MJ, spoilers, finally kiss, the kid next to me went nuts. But not in the fanboy way like I did. My heart soared. But this kid was like, ah! And he squirmed and literally put his face into his mother. I was like, wow, man, I remember those days. So there I am, getting ready to watch the movie. They're putting up the trailers, man. They're playing the Goldfinch trailer. And I'm like, how the fuck they're going to adapt this book? Like, look at that shit. Oh, they're doing it. It's that Ansel boy. Ansel, what's his fuck? And I'm watching the trailer. And all of a sudden, the flashlight goes in my face. And the security guard is standing in front of me. He goes, hi, what's in the bag? And I was like, what, this bag? I was like, and I felt fucking caught, man. Like, really fucking caught. Like, I wasn't expecting that. And it was weird. What was weirder was, remember the guy who was sitting next to the lady I talked about? About 5 minutes prior to this, like, he was staring at me hardcore before, like, the trailers popped in. And, I was just like, that happens because, like, I dress like fucking Silent Bob every day of my life. So with a backwards baseball cap, people are like, oh, it's that fucking, hey, it's Kevin James. So I thought I got recognized, quasi-recognized, and so I didn't, every time I looked over, my man would, like, look away and shit like that. So I thought, like, oh, I'm used to this. I know this game. I've done this a zillion times. So that guy got up at one point, like, just when the trailers began. I just marked it. I don't know why, because he was looking at me when he got up. And then security dude, like, comes in and, can I look in the bag? And I'm like, what? Why am I? Who the fuck would profile me? Like, fucking, do I look like someone who's here to start some shit? I look like fucking Kevin James, man. So, I'm like fucking nervous because I got a bunch of snacks in my bag too. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, I thought for a second maybe that's what he was asking me about. I'm like, these motherfuckers are so tight with the no snacks policy. Jesus Christ. I go, my laptop. And he goes, may I see it? And I said, okay. And so I unzipped the back pocket. That's where the laptop is. And he looks in with the flashlight. And he goes, okay, thank you. And then walks away. And I was like, that's so fucked up. Like me, like, there's a lady with a purse. Like, there were people all over. Then the dude who got up, he comes and sits down. And that's when I put it together, man. My man profiled me and was like, there's a loner nutbag who came in just before the movie began. He's got a bag in his lap, and he looks awfully suspect. And they thought I might be trouble. Me, of all people, man. Meanwhile, the fucking kid next to me, the little kid, is staring at me suddenly because he's like, the worst thing in the world you can do in front of a child is have security come up to you, because now this kid's like, you're suspect. And so, a couple minutes into the movie and shit, I flip the bag around and I go open it up real quietly and slowly, because I'm reaching in to get my fucking snacks, man. The movie's underway. There's a nice kind of loud sequence, so I'm like, they won't hear the crinkling of the bag. I reach in to get these Whole Foods, like, peanut butter snacks I got. And as I pull out, my bag's open. I look over, and the kid next to me has just seen the wealth of snacks in my bag, and he's wide-eyed, and he looks up at me, and I look at him, and he goes, I'm telling the man. And I was like, no, please don't. It's all before the movie begins. An adventure before the movie. So his mother tells him to leave me alone. We go back to watching the movie. I'm eating my snacks. Loving this film. Second time I saw it. Let's jump into it. Look, before we recap the movie in order of things of how they happen, this is generally what I try to do, is just read the story. I got to jump. Like here, let's do this. A preview before the review, or a precap before the recap. not only is this one of the best superhero movies ever made, not only is this pure cinematic joy, along the order of, Empire Strikes Back or Raiders of the Lost Ark, same feelings I had when I saw those movies in the movie theater when I was a kid. Not only is this movie a time machine to a better time of your life, this movie plays like a happy childhood. Not only does this movie capture everything that movies are supposed to be about: escape, wonder, adventure, heroism, drama, characters. Not only is it Avengers 1.5 in as much as it dovetails directly off of Endgame and shows us what the Marvel Universe looks like today, now that, spoilers, Tony Stark has given his life. And I should say, before we go any deeper into this, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. We're going to spoil the shit out of Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen the movie, stop. Go see the movie. Come back. Continue watching. Not only is this movie one of my favorite Marvel movies ever made.
Let's have to use 2 pens there, guys.
Not only
base layer
does this
and the
movie
shaded layer.
manage
You see what I'm trying to do?
not only,
So we've got base layer of the light color, and then we have darker tone to go over the top and add a little bit of shading, where we've already put shading and extreme
and Endgame
what we've already done.
Buffet. Not only does this movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, add a flavor to that buffet. Just when you thought you're like, oh, I've had everything on the buffet, they bring out a steam tray full of fucking fried gold. Not only does this movie accomplish all of those miracles and stand out as one of the best summer movies I've ever seen in my life, just when the credits roll on this fucker and you're like, fuck, I feel bad for the next fucking movie. He's got to follow this shit. Jesus, this got me shooting my webs all over the joint. Then this movie somehow bests itself by coming up with a mid-credit sequence that is as dazzling, spellbinding, game-changing, dramatic, adventurous, escapist. It does the entire job that the movie just did for 2 hours, and then does it again in the span of 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, they somehow made a movie that was better than the amazing movie that they just showed us for 2 hours. Can you imagine that? You get done with the feat of a lifetime where you're like, look at this. Not only is it like the fucking umpteenth Spider-Man movie, but it's amazing. Pun intended. And it ain't amazing like the other one. It is described as amazing. It's not in the title. Not only did they stick the landing, man, they Peter tingled all of us. They tingled all our Peters, man. It was fantastic. It made me go. I stood up and I applauded. So John Watts is director for the ages. That was with the movie proper. And then I'm like, all right, man, show us. I can't wait to see what the post-credit sequence, the mid-credit sequence is going to be. And they show you a mid-credit sequence that changes the entire face of the fucking Marvel universe going forward. Changes everything you thought you knew about what would be next for Spider-Man. I was having a fucking blast in these movies, man. They got high school right. These Spider-Man movies have been a couple of pitch perfect high school movies. They're so good. You know how something is, you know how you know something's good? If you're creative yourself, or if you fancy yourself creative, you see it and it makes you want to do something like it. Now, seeing Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home didn't make me want to make a superhero movie. I don't have the talent for that. But it made me want to make a high school movie so badly. This kid and his team of writers knocked it out the park both times with movies that are set in fucking high school. It's difficult, man, particularly any capturing the tone of high school and a teenager is difficult
I don't know what
in
kind
any
of
period of time, let alone right now in this period of time, let alone when that's not even the main story. The main story is, by the way, this teenager puts on a suit, shoots webs, and he's fucking the amazing Spider-Man or your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So they're making these pitch perfect fucking high school movies. And as we come into a close with Spider-Man Far From Home, and you got Peter and MJ coming in Newark, New Jersey, mind you. As a fucking New Jersey person, oh my God, that made me so happy. When I was a kid, anytime they put New Jersey in the movies, I'd go ape shit. That doesn't change when you're 48, even though you put Jersey in movies your whole fucking career. I saw it say Newark, New Jersey. I was like, fucking been there. I've been there. I exist in the same world as these Spider-Man characters. And I know that because they put Marvel put Mallrats in Captain America. So I know I exist in this universe. I could have passed those kids post-blip, if you will. Who knew, man? So that's happening. They show the kids starting to hold hands. They play another Ramones song, and you're like, oh, shit. I like this, man. They're like bringing us into a close, a landing the same way they brought the other one in for a landing, man. Like fucking there's a Ramones song, it's High School Life. You know, I'm like, I'm looking forward to next one, the next year where we get to see Peter in his senior year, because they've let Peter Parker be, a teenager, a kid. And that's what these have been so much better than the other Spider-Man movies for that very reason, how long we've spent with the teenager Peter Parker, who's learning the responsibilities of being a Spider-Man, if you will, even though he's a boy. And so I felt comfortable and snookered. You know what I'm saying? Like I was lied to. Because I forgot. That's my fault. That's how good the storytellers are. They made me forget what I know in every fiber of my being. Peter Parker never gets a happy ending. Spider-Man don't get a happy ending, man. Stan Lee, Steve Ditko created a put-upon character that even when he won, he usually fucking lost and stuff like that. So I forgot about that because I'm watching a movie, and in movies, everybody wins. Except, except the rebels at the end of Empire. But generally speaking, people always win in movies and stuff. So, movies about fictional stuff. Please don't be like, what about Schindler's List? Of course, like, obviously, not every movie people win and stuff. But in these movies about superheroes and shit like that, generally it ends on a fucking high note. Unless, people get snapped out. This is more current reference. People like Empire Strikes Back, you're showing your fucking great balls, old man. You're right. Snap is more current reference. Like some movies do end sad. Generally speaking, everything ends up for heroes in the movie and shit. And that is not the case historically for Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He's always fucking getting the shit end of the stick, even though he's the hero. And they fucking did it in the movie. They gave him the shit end of the stick. So hardcore in the post-credit sequence, which after 10 years of Marvel movies, 22 other Marvel movies, now everyone is trained to wait for. So the credits started rolling. Nobody in my packed theater got up because everybody's like, this ain't fucking done. But we all thought there'd be a little PS that's just like, oh, some fun little bits or something like that. No. Instead, what we get is Peter finishing his swing with MJ through the city. They land in front of Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden got that big screen up and stuff. And on the big screen is a news break where they show footage from Mysterio right before he died. Quentin Beck. Spoilers, he dies in the end. We think. We're pretty damn sure he died. And, there's this off-camera footage of Spider-Man's legs, and he's going like, Spider-Man, I was able to get the dimensional monster, knock him back in another dimension, but Spider-Man just attacked me. Like turns and sets up Spider-Man as the bad guy, which is something we all know from the fucking comic books. But when you think of like who sets up fucking Spider-Man to be a bad guy in the comic books, is one legendary fucking name, 3 letters, that everybody knows. He hates Spider-Man as J. Jonah Jameson, man. And so what do? Not only do they give us this Marvel Cinematic Universe version of J. Jonah Jameson finally. Not only did they reinvent it for the time, so the Daily Bugle ain't some fucking newspaper, it's the dailybugle.net, and J. Jonah Jameson is like an Alex Jones type of guy barking at the viewer about patriots and conspiracy theories, and he's talking about Mysterio died, the patriot, this world's greatest hero, and who did him in but Spider-Man. He said, but that's not it. And they had this footage, that Mysterio was shooting from their final showdown on the bridge. Completely misrepresents our hero. But then, just when you're like, oh, shit, man, I'm sitting there, this is brilliant. They just fucked up my boy's life and shit. Now Spider-Man going to be the villain, like, throughout the city. He's right there in the middle of the city, and everyone's going to turn on him as Spider-Man. They took it one fucking step further, man. They dismantled my dreams of one more, Spider-Man in high school movie, because nothing will be the same after this. J. Jonah Jameson says, like, and then, that's not all. Hold on to your hats and shit, because this piece of information changes everything. And it's Quentin Beck saying Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and he puts up a fucking picture of Peter Parker, spills his fucking identity. Of course you have, I was going to say, you have no idea. You have every idea. You probably saw the movie, and you probably agree. What a brilliant fucking on-brand character point for Mysterio that is. To be able to fuck with Spider-Man's life, even from the fucking grave, like, oh my God. To bring in a masterstroke that not only are they bringing J. Jonah Jameson in, but they brought the same J. Jonah Jameson that everybody agreed they loved from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, man. They brought in J.K. fucking Simmons. I was going to say J.K. Rowling. That would be fucking huge, right? If they're like, ladies and gentlemen, playing fucking J. Jonah Jameson, the creator of Harry Potter. Go figure. J.K. Rowling's and shit. And she's like, Spider-Man can't be trusted. Neither can Snape. So fucking what a brilliant piece of fan service that is, man. As much as like we were all like, where's J. Jonah Jameson going to be in this mess? They bring him in, and then they cast the guy who played him in the movies. We all like it's nostalgia already. Isn't that fucking nuts? Oh my God. Reinventing the Daily Bugle as the dailybugle.net and a conspiracy theorist website. Fucking brilliant. Like as a storyteller, like I was fucking delighted. That captured my imagination. That broke me of wanting to make a high school thing because I was like, suddenly I forgot about the fucking delightful high school movie I just watched. And the only movie I could think about was that 2-minute movie in which they fucked Spider-Man's life up. Never mind the post-credit sequence with Talos, which was pretty fucking revealing in and of itself and shows this fucking Nick Fury up in space because I guess that's fuck the Earth. Now that's next. They fucking changed the entire Marvel universe in a movie that, yeah, is a Marvel Studios movie, but it's a fucking Sony movie, not a Disney movie. Pshoom, they pivoted. It's fucking nuts. In the background, you know, there's some construction at the end, and you see like, wait till you see Phase 4, you know, because that's what's about to begin. They began Phase 4 with such a bang. Kevin Feige, modern day fucking Harry Houdini. Let's just pray to Christ he never gets punched in the ribs and drowns like the way Houdini died. He's such a fucking magician, man. And you know, I gotta give him credit because I think he's the one consistent, you know, player throughout all these movies, whether it's a Disney or the Spider-Man movies at Sony. Like, that is fantastic, man. Like, fantastic. I mean, there was a moment in the movie where someone referenced surfboard, and I was like,
yeah, surfboard. Oh, surfboard.
Oh my God, it's beginning. And Nick Fury just had a surfboard. But Kevin Feige, like, oh, I just wanted to find him and fucking hug him, man. He honors the work of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko by fucking up Spider-Man's life. I wanted one more, you know, happily ever after high school movie before Peter goes on to like Empire State University and becomes grown up and has to deal with that shit. And they did what they did in the comics with Stan and Steve always did. And all the other creators worked on Spider-Man. They fucked him up. They just said, yeah, it's not going to be for our guy. He doesn't get to always win. He wins the battle, but he loses the war. So this is all just a preview for the recap. This is just me going, fuck, that was spellbinding. Let's go back to the top of the movie, shall we? And recap the whole flick that I can remember from the top. Mind you, I've smoked a big old caviar joint, so I may not, details may fucking fly by. But let's try it, shall we? Okay.
Aha! You can see him talking, but he's not talking because he is no longer audible. Jamie is here, and I'm all about the audible business. Shooting out the spider webs. You don't want to listen to him. You want to listen to me because I have a
Jamie's, everybody. Jamie's.
If you're an Amazon Prime member and you sign up for Audible, guess what? You will get the first 3 months at 66% off, which is about $30 off, which is like 3 months of a membership for the price of one. You see this guy, Jay Muse, reading a book is like this. Ooh, squirrel. And then I come back and like, where was I? Where I'm lost, but not with Audible, my friends. And then this deal is only from 7/1/19 to 7/31/19. And all you have to do is go to audible.com/Kevin Smith. That's right. Or you could text Kevin Smith to 500, 500, man. There's so much I can tell you about Audible and what I like about it and what I love about it. I know you'll love it too, probably for the same exact reasons. And you and I will sit down one day and talk about it. Text Kevin Smith to, or go to audible.com / and let's not get back ever to this weird thing going on with Kevin.
Thanks, Muse. Anyway, back to my review. Okay, not a review. Recap. Just to recap my position on reviews. I guess it's technically a review, not a criticism. I can't like review things properly. Like people are always telling me, "Oh, you just fucking sucked Marvel's dick." That's a proper review, you know. But look, Siskel and Ebert had thumbs up and thumbs down. I have dick sucking. That's my fucking brand. You know what I'm saying? When I like something, I'm like 2 hands all over it with a big mouth. So. Just for those out there who are like, man, I just want to see him say something fucking negative about one of these movies. You won't. I love these movies. And you won't see me review anything negatively because there's no point. Like, if I already watched something and I don't like it, why am I going to waste my time telling you how much I didn't like it? Shit. You know why? You might like it. Like, you may see a completely different movie than me, so I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. But I will try to talk you into seeing shit I like. Now, you know, people are like, yeah, fucking Marvel really needs the help. It's not about fucking them. It's about me. I like chronicling these things just to capture the moment, man. I can't wait to watch these 5 years from now and be like, wow. I mean, look, number one, I'll be lucky if I'm alive 5 years from now. But to be able to look back and be like, look at all the passion I had before, you know, I went completely fucking gray or something like that is nice. My mom likes them too, by the way. But I won't negatively review things. I just can't. It's not really in my DNA. I'll tell you, but you'll never hear the end of that shit I love. And I fucking love Spider-Man Far From Home. You have to realize how tough a tall order they had with this flick. Not only are they following a really wonderful reboot of Spider-Man with the amazing Tom Holland, who is truly a gift to superhero cinema and to the character of Spider-Man in general. One of the only Spider-Men who ever spoke with a New York accent. Like, high props for that. But we're following Endgame, which is like the be-all, end-all and insanely satisfying. And, you know, fuck, we had Spider-Man in that movie, too, just like we had him in Infinity War. So, you know, tall order, capturing the magic again. You know, you're into sequel territory now. This is the second of the new Spider-Man. So, you know, what are you going to do? If you think about the Marvel sequels, some people didn't like Iron Man 2. A lot of people didn't like Thor 2, The Dark World and stuff. So there's, you know, a history, not a history, and again, it's not for everybody, but the same way some people are like, hey man, with those Star Trek movies, the even ones are good and the odd ones suck. You know, the second Marvel movie sometime had a tough time getting out the gate for something. Not for me. I loved Iron Man 2. And I saw Thor 2, Dark World. But I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought James Gunn was able to break that. It was that streak or whatever, that impression. I thought that movie stood out and stuff. But some people will be like, it's not as good as Guardians 1. That's the magic of seeing Guardians for the first time, and then the second time, now you're just into the story of their world. But I love that movie. This was going to be a tall hurdle to clear because not only have there's been another Spider-Man movie prior to this, but we got big helpings of Spider-Man in Civil War, this same Spider-Man, and then in Infinity War and in Endgame War. And, you know, mind you, we had about a decade of Spider-Man movies that were not Tom Holland prior to this, as well as cartoons, as well as amazing video games and stuff. One could, you know, say like, well, perhaps there's some Spider-Man fatigue or something like that. I wouldn't, because just like Batman, this is a character that you could fucking milk 1,000 different ways. Spider-Man just won an Academy Award, Into the Spider-Verse, right? So there was a chance that people were like, all right, man, fucking enough with Spider-Man. Show us Spider-Woman or fucking like anyone else. And they had a tall fucking building to clear, man. First smart thing they did was adding Nick Fury, because suddenly you're like, oh shit, you're Avengers adjacent, and Spider-Man is an Avenger, as we saw in Infinity War. So, hey, tie these together because we didn't get a lot of Nick Fury in Endgame. So suddenly it's like, oh, here's all the Nick Fury we missed in Endgame. They must have met at the funeral. Here we go. That's smart. Smart taking it abroad. You know, it's like they're still high school kids, but they're on a high school trip. So it's not just like back at high school. Plus, after the events of Endgame, with kids blipping out and whatnot, you know, they had to do something different. And boy, did they. So, you know, that was bright. But the most brilliant fucking thing they did was use Mysterio as a character. I love this character. I've been a Mysterio fan for my whole life. Ever since I saw him in the cartoon, probably. Very first place I saw him was in the old Spider-Man cartoon. My God, look at the beauty of this design. This is from the old Marvel dolls they used to do, man, the Toy Biz. They used to sell it at KB. KB used to be a toy store. Toy Store used to be a place you bought toys before Amazon.
I got toys.
So I've had this for a long, long time, man. I love the character of Mysterio.
Toys.
I put him in my Daredevil run.
That's what I've taken some inspiration from, sort of pose this one as well, guys. And if you want to see me pose all this up and take inspiration from it, it is all up in the other videos in when I've inked and sketched it.
To cinematic treatment because, you know, he's the master, the mister of the Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts. Because he could do fucking illusions and stuff like that. His whole shtick is fucking tricking Spider-Man and everybody. You know, no real power. He's a special effects guy for the movies and shit. So including that character in the movies was brilliant. That character's made for the fucking movies, man. But the master stroke, the fucking hat upon the hat, the cherry, I don't like cherries, the fucking whipped cream, that's good enough. Why do people have to fucking make it better with a cherry? Like that makes it better? Something natural. The whipped cream on the top of the ice cream is Jake. My God, he looks fuckable Gyllenhaal. I'm not sure that's his real name. I think I looked in the credits. That's what I put in there. Oh my God, he's fantastic, man. Playing Quentin Beck. And he plays the shit out of Quentin Beck. You believe him when he's, you know, fucking buddying up to Peter.
Yep, very good actor.
When maybe that ain't the case. Let's go through it. So you got these elements at play. They open the movie with a scene with Maria Hill and Nick Fury going to this town in some other country that's not America. You can tell I'm American, but I'm like, it's someplace not here. I forget which place it's at. Maybe Mexico. Maybe. I think it was a Latin country. I remember that correctly. Something going on. There's a hurricane. A storm had a face, and then suddenly they see this like storm rise up, and it does have a face, and then this like green smoke hits the ground, and they give you Mysterio in the first 3 minutes. There he is in all of his fucking helmeted glory.
There we
Shy
go.
away from this fucking shit.
Kapoof.
Any
At
other
the beginning
hero
of
that
the
make
film.
this movie ain't got no.
Kapoof. As we can see at the beginning of the film and at the end of the stream. We've now finished this, guys. So all I can say is thank you very much for voting for it over on Instagram. If you want to listen to the rest of that, Kevin Smith, it should be in my watch later videos, or it will be linked in the description down below. Once this video has finished doing its thing, and I've been able to put all the extra bits on afterwards. But yeah, guys, I want to say thank you very much for voting for this over on Instagram. If you want to choose again, this Sunday will be another vote for you guys to choose another picture for me to draw. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because tomorrow we'll be doing some more VR art and also probably playing some more of the Spider-Man PS4 with the new suits from the film. If you haven't checked out the first 2 streams already, guys, go and check them out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Click the links that will appear, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Blute084 Art and Games out. Bye for now.